and television TV show. For this program, we're getting more two guesses. I am Andrea Flores, and I'm introduce you to Norma Lewis and Mr. Stewart.
Hey.
So, what happened to you, Norma? You were blondie and now you are kind of a brunette.
Yeah, well, that's actually a secret. I cannot tell you on TV. But, okay, I'm gonna make an exception, just that it's because of the sequel. Actually, the sequel is gonna make everyone to understand why the circumstances or why everything happened. I planned it, everything, so it was just to make a fake death, and I have another personality.
Oh my god, you totally got us, girl. How could you? Okay, so tell me now, Mr. Stewart.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to be a little bit insulting, but what happened to your face?
Well, it's a whole story. It's about when I was working in the NASA. Lighting hit one of the hangar, and I was right there when the lighting came down and hit right here in the face. So
oh my god, that's too cruel.
it's a unusual story, but since that day I can speak with the ones that confront the light.
Oh, okay, so that's interesting. I want to ask you, why did you push the button?
Wow, that's a really tough question. Actually, in first place, we're girls. We always want to know what happened. The main point of pushing that button is to have the money. But then I knew that someone else is going to die, so I regret a lot the decision. But, wow, it was really hard.
Do you think that decision affected your family?
No, I've never thought about it.
Never your son, you never thought about your son, your husband.
Of course I do.
How do you decide who to choose? In which decisions you are based to take a family or someone for you to take the bus to them houses and maybe put them options to decide to push the button or not to push it?
I choose them about the situations because when we are in difficult situations, we decide the first things that make the situations good for us, not for everyone. We are selfish about that decisions.
And I want to stay with this, and we are coming after these commercials. Hi, we're back again with your E-Entertainment TV show, and this is the last part of our show. Norma, how did you feel about the situation with your son? Then the people from Mr. Stewart took away your son from you.
Well, it's hard. It's something that you can't explain, because if someone took away your son, you want to kill that person. When Mr. Stewart said that we have just two options, or live happily ever after, as he said, with our son dead and blind, and we still together, I felt bad, totally guilty, because it was my fault that my son thinks that way.
But if you see it in another picture, your son will still have a life. It will be hard for him, but he's still young, so he can find a way to adapt. Don't you think?
Adapt? Would you like to be deaf and blind?
If you put it that way, I guess not. But the thing that you decided to give your life for your son,
What would
that's
you do? That's hard, of course. But if it's my fault, and my son's not guilty, but
How about you, Mr. Stewart? What you change if you could? You don't feel guilty to force the people practically. I mean, because give you that amount of dollars. I mean, it was what, $1,000?
$1
Well,
billion.
$1 billion?
I felt this enthusiasm or feel like the need to get real life together too. So since I have this I told you I have the permission, the ability to talk with those who control the light. They told me many things about the human and ethics. They told me that in a way we are very selfish, and my test is like a proof of that theory. The people you told me that it's like a very difficult decisions to make between your son and your life, but it's the price of that action. You are choosing to kill one people for money.
Don't you think that you actually will turn in a serial killer too? You are not pushing the button. I know that, and that depends on the people that you make the offer to push the button.
Yeah.
But don't you think that you can make a change in your boss's mind so they can understand that human beings can understand through many and different ways instead of killing people? Don't you think that?
I don't think so. I think it's the way that it is. It's natural. It's the perfect scene and the perfect situation to make that precisely decision.
Okay, so we can make you change your mind, don't you? Well, I guess we will see that in the sequel. Stay and see what happens with these guys in the movie and the history that they have. Thank you for coming up and seeing this TV show. See ya!
Bye. Thank you
Careful
for
with
the
the box.
invitation.
Thanks for coming, guys.